Listen. You know it wasn't by chance that you got here. Something bigger is trying to catch your attention and you feel it. It doesn't matter what you're going through right now. Maybe things are confusing. Maybe you are tired or simply lost. But you are here and that says it all. This message is not just a video. It is a pause. It's a call. It's that push you've been waiting for but maybe didn't know how to ask for. You don't need to have all the answers now. You don't even need to know what to do next. Just listen to this. What do you feel inside? That restlessness, that doubt, that desire for something more. Don't ignore it. The truth is, no one will do the work for you. No one will rescue you. It's you, with yourself. And it's okay if you are not sure how to start. The important thing is to take the first step, a small move. And you know what's amazing? You've already started. You're here. It's already enough to change everything. I know it's hard to hear this so bluntly, but it's necessary. How many times have you postponed something you knew was important? How many times did fear or doubt stop you? It's okay to admit that. We hide from so many things, including what we most desire, but today the moment has come to face it. It's not about waiting for the right moment. It's about understanding that the moment is now. I don't want to convince you of anything. This decision has to be yours. But if you are hearing this, it's because somehow you already know what you need to do. Maybe you are afraid of changing because you believe you will lose something. Maybe you think you don't deserve more than you have today, or that you are not capable. But I am going to tell you something, and I want you to really listen. You deserve more, and you are capable. Not because I am saying this, but because deep down, you know it's true. Think a little. What are you waiting for? A guarantee that everything will work out. That doesn't exist. Nothing in this life comes with a certificate of success. Everything we do with a mix of courage and uncertainty. But do you know what differentiates those who move forward from those who stay still? It's acting despite the fear. It's knowing that doubt will always be there, but deciding to go anyway. If you keep doing the same things, you'll stay in the same place. It's simple. What brought you here won't take you further. It's hard to face that, but it's the truth. If you're waiting for someone to tell you exactly what to do, I won't give you that relief. Because you already know what you need, you're just waiting for someone to confirm it. So here is the confirmation. Go. Do it. Whatever it is, do it for yourself. And before you start listing the reasons not to do it, not to try, let me tell you something. Everyone has excuses. Everyone has justifications. What differentiates people who truly change is that they decide to ignore those voices. They decide that the story they're telling themselves doesn't have to be definitive. They rewrite it, and you can do that too. I know that maybe you're tired, that the routine has worn you down, that it seems like there is no energy for anything. But that feeling is not permanent. You don't have to accept it as your reality forever. Everything starts with a small step. Maybe it's just getting up and doing something you've been putting off for days. Maybe it's looking in the mirror and saying it's going to be different, even if it seems impossible. What matters is movement, because it's in the movement that things change. Don't wait until you're ready. That's never going to happen. You'll never feel 100% prepared for what truly matters, and that's okay. Because growth happens along the way, not at the beginning. You'll stumble. You'll question yourself. You might even want to give up. But that's how it works. That's how you become who you've always wanted to be, but never had the courage to admit. You may not believe me now, but think about this. What do you have to lose? What is really holding you back? It's not the circumstances. It's not the people around you. It's you. It's your mind, creating barriers that seem insurmountable. But do you know what happens when you face those barriers? They start to crumble, and you realize that the only thing holding you back was fear. I know it's not easy. I know you've tried before and maybe failed, but failure is not the end. It's just part of the process. Every time you try and don't succeed, you learn something that prepares you for the next attempt. The only way to truly fail is to stop trying. And look, no one is going to judge you for not being perfect. No one is expecting that from you. The world isn't asking you to have all the answers, to know exactly where you're going. What matters is the effort, the willingness to improve, to grow, to get out of that place where you feel stuck. And if you're waiting for a sign, here it is. This is it. It's now. It's not about changing your entire life all at once. It's about taking a step, any step. It's about recognizing that you deserve more, that you can do more, and that you don't have to settle for less. You don't need to have a perfect plan. You just need the courage to start. And then, one step at a time, you'll see that it's possible, that you can, that you always could but didn't know it. If you feel like you've heard something similar before, it might be because the time has finally come to take action, because it's not the first time the universe is trying to speak with you, but it is the first time you are truly listening. And if you've come this far, it's because something inside you has already changed. Now all that's left is for you to keep up with this change. I want you to take a deep breath now. Close your eyes if you can, and ask yourself, what do I really want? Not what others want for me, not what they expect me to do. What do I want? What is the next step I need to take? Be honest with yourself, and then simply do it. It doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be real. If you feel that this has moved you, it's because it's meant to move you. It's meant to get you out of your place, to make you think, but more than that, to make you act. Because thinking without acting changes nothing. Now it's up to you, I'll be direct. You know what you need to do. It's not something you need to discover or wait for someone to tell you. It's there, inside you, waiting for attention. But let me ask you, why do you keep ignoring it? Why do you keep hiding behind the not now or the I can't? You know these thoughts only hold you back, don't you? Life is not going to wait for you to decide. Time keeps running, and each day that passes is another day you leave behind. There's no getting it back. And this isn't meant to scare you, but to remind you that the moment to act is now. Not tomorrow. Not after things get better. Because honestly, when is everything going to be perfect? Never. You don't need a complete plan. You don't need to know all the steps. You just need to begin. A small movement, a simple gesture, but one that tells yourself, I am going to do this. Because it's in that small commitment that the change starts. Have you noticed how small decisions can transform an entire day? Imagine what a conscious decision can do for your life. If it's difficult, I understand. Maybe you're dealing with things that no one can see. Maybe you have pains and fears that you've never shared with anyone. But that can't be an excuse to not take care of yourself. That's exactly why you need to act, to give yourself what you deserve, to get out of this cycle of waiting and being disappointed. No one is going to do this for you. And you know that. Things aren't going to magically resolve themselves. The reality is that either you take the reins or you continue living the same story day after day. Do you want that? Do you want to get to the end of your life and realize that you were stuck in the same place because you were afraid to take risks? Because you let the what if it goes wrong paralyze you? Is that what you want? If the answer is no, then it's simple. Start now. If you've made it this far, you've already taken a step. Now it's about the next one. And then another. Don't look at the entire mountain you need to climb. Just look at the first step. You don't need to solve your entire life in one day. You just need to decide that today will not be just another day like all the others. Today will be different. Today you will choose yourself. Are you afraid? Great. Everyone is. But do you know what differentiates people who succeed from those who don't? It's not a lack of fear. It's what they do with it. You can use fear as a reason to stop or as a force to move forward. It's there to remind you that you're stepping out of your comfort zone. And it's outside of it where things change. You've been through difficult situations before, haven't you? And you survived. You got up even when you thought you didn't have the strength. So why do you think this time will be different? You are stronger than you believe. And maybe all you need now is a reminder of that. I am not here to give you ready-made solutions, because the truth is that only you know what to do. And that may seem scary, but it is liberating at the same time. It means you have the control. No one can take that away from you. But it also means that if you do nothing, the responsibility is yours. The choice will always be yours. Do you want to change? Then prove it to yourself. Not to me, nor anyone else. To yourself. Believe in yourself. Give a vote of confidence to that inner voice that says you can. Because at the end of the day, the only opinion that really matters is yours. And if you think you are alone, you are not. It may seem like no one understands, that no one sees what you are going through. But there are people who are rooting for you, even if you have not found all of them yet. And above all, there is you. You are your best company, your best chance. Don't abandon yourself. I know you might be tired of hearing things like this. Maybe you have promised yourself before that you would change and didn't. That's okay. You are not defined by your failures. You are defined by what you do from now on. And now is all that matters. So, I will leave you with this. What are you going to do today that will be different from yesterday? It doesn't have to be something huge, but it needs to be something, because what you do today determines who you will be tomorrow. And if you are waiting for a bigger sign, here it is. It's your life calling you. Are you ready to answer? Understand one thing. No one is going to do this for you. The life you want to live is not waiting for someone to come serve it to you on a silver platter. What's at stake here is not what you think you can or cannot do, but what you are willing to do. The difference between those who live a life full of purpose and those who get lost in the void of routine is the willingness to act, even when everything seems hard or uncertain. You got this far for a reason, and I know that this has affected you in some way. Maybe you feel something you can't explain, a discomfort, a restlessness. That's good. Do you know why? Because it means that something inside you is already changing. It means that you are beginning to listen to the voice that for a long time you have silenced. That voice that tells you that you can do more, that you deserve more, but that out of fear or doubt, you try to stifle. But now you can't ignore it anymore. You can't pretend that everything is okay when you know it's not. And it's okay to admit that. It's okay to recognize that you are not where you wanted to be. What's not okay is getting comfortable with that. What's not okay is letting another day pass without you doing something different. Because each day is a new chance, and every time you let it slip away, you're telling yourself that you don't believe, that it's not worth it. But let me remind you of something. You are worth it. You deserve more than just surviving. You deserve to live, really live. Feel joy, purpose, connection, and that won't fall into your lap. It will require effort. It will require tough choices. It will require you to look in the mirror and face not only what's working, but also what needs to change. And that hurts. But it's that pain that transforms you. If you feel like you're stuck in a cycle, that the days go by and nothing changes, it's because you're waiting for the right moment. But let me tell you something, the right moment is an illusion. It doesn't exist. What exists is now. It's what you do with what you have today. If you don't start now, when will you start? When everything is perfect, when the fear disappears? That's never going to happen. Fear, doubt, uncertainty, all of that will always be there. But do you know what else can be there? Courage, determination, the will to make a difference, and these things don't appear magically. They grow each time you decide to act despite the fear. Each time you take a step, even without knowing where it will lead. That's how you get stronger. That's how you change. I know it's not easy. I'm not here to tell you that it will be simple or that you won't stumble along the way. You will. And that's okay, because stumbling is part of it, falling is part of it. What matters is that you get up time after time until you can stand and walk steadily. And when you look back, you'll realize that each fall was a learning experience, that each stumble made you stronger, more resilient. But none of this happens if you don't take the first step. And sometimes the first step is just deciding that you don't want to live the way you're living anymore, that you don't want to accept less than what you know you deserve. It doesn't have to be something grand. It can be something small, but that symbolizes your decision to start. A gesture, a movement, a commitment to yourself. That's what changes everything. Now I want you to do something. Stop. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, what is holding me back? Be honest. Don't try to soften or justify it. Just face it. Because it's only when you recognize what is holding you back that you can begin to break free. And it doesn't matter what it is. Fear, doubt, guilt, shame. All of that can be faced. You just need to decide that you won't let these things control you anymore. And when you make that decision, I want you to share it with me. I want you to write in the comments how you're feeling right now. What is the first step you're going to take? What is the change you're ready to make? Because when you put it out there, when you commit publicly, you are strengthening your decision. You are telling yourself, I am ready. And you know what else? Subscribe to the channel, because this journey doesn't end here. This is just the beginning. I want to keep accompanying you, keep talking to you, helping you remember who you really are. And I want you to be here with me. Not just watching, but participating, commenting, sharing your achievements and challenges. Also leave your like. This is more than a symbolic gesture. It's a way for you to affirm to yourself that you are committed, that you are willing to take the next step. It's you saying, I choose to act. I choose to change. Remember, what you do now defines what comes next. It's not about waiting for the universe to conspire, but about aligning with what you want. And when you start acting, when you commit, everything around you starts to adjust. Not because it's magic, but because you're putting energy, focus, and intention into what matters. So tell me, what is the next step? It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be big. It just needs to be yours. And I will be here, waiting to hear how it went. Subscribe, comment, leave your like, and most importantly, choose you. Choose your life. Choose now. You deserve it. And I believe in you. Now it's your turn. Go ahead, make it happen. I'm with you.